Yo, what's poppin', everybody? It's me, Caleb, again, and we're here to continue Viral Jesus. I hope y'all have been having an awesome summer so far. Had an awesome week last week. Let's get right into this because I want to talk about how Jesus wants you and I to help him go viral with our friends, with our culture, with everybody that we come in contact with. We can help Jesus go viral. Let's talk about it. And so the key verse that we're focusing on is, again, Mark chapter 16, verse 15, where it says, "And then he told them, you are to go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone, everywhere." You're to go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone, everywhere. And so this is the thing that I've learned about God personally, and maybe you've learned this too. God does not need me. As great as I think that I am, or as great as you think you are, God is a lot better than the both of us. And so God does not need us at all. He can do whatever he wants with whoever he wants, whenever he wants. So he doesn't need us, but God does want us. And that's the big difference, is God doesn't need our help, but he wants us to be a part of the process and helping Jesus go viral, because he understands that that's not only going to benefit someone else's life, but it's going to benefit our life as well. And I love this, where we see this in the story of the boy with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, or kind of how I view it in my mind. He had 2 McChickens and 5 French fries from McDonald's. That's how it is in my mind. And in the story, we see that Jesus was preaching to a big crowd of people, and he told the disciples, "Hey, yo, we got to feed these people. What are we going to do?" And the disciples, one of them brought up and was like, "Well, we have this boy here that has this." And I think he was like trying to be sarcastic with God, like he was trying to be slick. And Jesus said, "All right, bet. Let's use it. I can do it." And so as the story goes on, Jesus ends up feeding 5,000 people. Well, actually, the Bible says he fed 5,000 men, not including the women and the children that were there as well. So over 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread, 2 fish, 5 French fries, 2 McChickens. How did he make that happen? Well, this is the thing. The boy had to be generous with what he had. See, Jesus could have done it with anything. He could have done it with the stones. But like I said, Jesus doesn't need us, but he wants us. So Jesus didn't need the little boy with his 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, but Jesus did want something. And what he wanted was not the food. What he wanted was the heart of generosity. Are you willing to give me what you have so I can do something way more with it? I'm so grateful that when we do life with Jesus, we are not limited to our limitations, because when we come to the end of ourselves, everything that we can do, max strength effort, that's when we get to the very beginning of how strong and powerful God is. And so God blesses us so that we can be a blessing to other people. And now blessings look very different. For some of you, you always have a smile on your face. That's a blessing because you can bring joy to somebody. For some of you, you are extremely smart in school. Number 1, I wish you were my friend because I was not smart in school. But then number 2, that means that you can help people when it comes to school. Some of you are extremely athletic. You can help your sports teams. You can help your friends get better. God blesses us so that we can be a blessing to other people. But it takes, in order to be a blessing to other people, it takes us being generous with what God has given us. I mean, let's think about it for a second. Someone was generous enough to us to tell you and I about Jesus. FCA is generous enough to provide these summer huddles for you, for me. I love watching these. I get encouraged by these, and they're giving it to us because they're generous, and they understand that when they are generous, God will do things that we can't do on our own. So to wrap up this week, if we want Jesus to go viral, it's going to take us being generous. It's going to take us being generous with our story, with what God has done for us, with the awesome, crazy, cool things that he's done. but then also the way that he's just been faithful. You know, in the church world, sometimes we think that for God to have done something great, it had to be like a black and white kind of a switch. And I think for me, I'm so grateful of the things that I have not had to go through because God has kept me safe. He has stayed blessing me because of generosity. And so I want to challenge you, who have you shared your faith with? How are you helping Jesus go viral with your generosity? It's more than an Instagram post. It's more than posting a Bible verse. It's the conversation. Who are you telling about Jesus? If you and I want Jesus to go viral, we need to make sure that we are being generous with our story about how God has helped our lives.